Hi guys, welcome back to Federalprison.consulting. I am Ryan Park. This is my wife, Kimmy. We are Federal Prison Consultants. I know in our previous video what we did was we talked about how prison consulting can help you before prison. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of recap what a prison consultant can do prior to prison. Why is that so important though? Why is it so important? It's because that sets the foundation. Because the time at your sentencing, that's it. That is what what you would call is the fat lady has sung. That's it. So that is why it's so important to set that solid foundation prior to sentencing. All right, so let's recap. Okay, so one, prior to prison, what a prison consultant can do is help you with the character reference letters as well as your personal narrative. Those are two important things because guess what, guys? We're not going to trial. If you take a plea, the judge is going to read what the prosecutor is going to say and what your judge is going to say. Your character reference letters is pretty much what is going to give a judge a description of who you are as a person. Your personal narrative is something that our team has actually come up with that is going to go in front of the probation as well as a judge, and it's going to give pretty much a narrative of who you are.
Now we're also going to help you surround yourself with the right people, and that is a correct mentor circle. You need positive people in a good group that are going to help build you up and support you through this time of your life, because we are changing your mind, we're changing your life, and we're building a foundation. You need to surround yourself with the right people. Along with your mentor circle, volunteer work is extremely important. It's really good in the judge's eyes if you are giving back to the community and showing a selfless piece of yourself, because let's be honest, we ended up in this situation because we were being selfish and we were thinking of our needs and our wants. So when we're giving back to the community, it shows extremely good faith to the judge and the prosecutor.
So we just went over 3 of the 5-step process. So the number 4th is going to make a couple of you squirm, and I know it definitely made me squirm when I heard it, but it's a mindset coach. Because if you're just like us, I didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to be a criminal, right? So how do I get myself in this position? Well, that's where our certified life coach comes into play. She's going to dig deep and she's going to try to figure out what made you end up in this spot. Because why? Because when this whole journey is over, your life is going to continue, and you want to continue with a clear mind. You want to continue with a healthy cleanse, right? That's where our life coach is going to come into play. She's going to work with you one-on-one, and she's going to dig deep, and she's going to figure out how you ended up in this spot. So now the 5th step in our 5-step mitigation method, the final one, we're prison consultants, right? We've both been to prison. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've done a lot of research when I was actually about to go to prison, and prison systems are not that helpful. There's not an information booth that's going to help you and your family that's going to be facing this. That's where we come to play. So everything that led up to sentencing, that's starting to set the foundation. That's how important that is. Now we got the foundation laid. Now the next step is starting to build that new house. That's where we come into play. We've been to prison, we know all the tips and tricks, we know everything that can help you and your family prepare for that, because the last thing you want to do is be sitting in prison thinking all the what ifs, thinking like, oh, did I forget something? So guess what? We already made that simple for you.
Now we've created a foolproof way to help you and your family ease into this process and be as prepared as possible. We have a checklist for you to start working on as soon as you take your plea deal and to complete before sentencing. And this is going to ensure that all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, that everything is going to be in a place. And once you are sitting in prison, if you are sitting in prison, you do not have to worry. You know that everything is done, your family doesn't have to worry, and you're just prepared.
Now guys, I'm going to be real with you right here. The last thing you want to do if you're sitting in that prison is to think of all the what ifs. Thinking like, oh, I wish I would have covered this, or I wish I would have handled this. You don't want to be there. I'm telling you from experience, you don't want to be there. I watch other people go through this when they're in prison. The checklist that we have actually went over time after time will help you and your family make sure that you cover all of your bases. Because I can't stress this enough again, there is no help once you get to prison. It's all on you and your family. So that's what we want to make sure is that we make this transition for you and your family as easy as possible. And with the experience that we've been through, that's a checklist that can make that happen.
So not only are we going to be here to answer your questions and help get you prepared, we're also going to be here to answer questions for your friends and your family who are going to be on the outside supporting you. So we will help them and you get them set up on things like core links and true links, how to put money on your books before you even get to prison. We will help you look up on how your prison, what they accept on books and how to get them sent there. Things like photos are really important. It was super valuable to me when I was incarcerated to have photos of my loved ones. We're going to help you with all of that. And so your family feels like they're contributing to ease you through this process as much as you want them to feel like they're being supported as well.
A lot of people ask us, so what separates us from attorneys? Well, for one, we can't practice law, but I can tell you that your attorney more likely has never been to federal prison, and if they have, they probably lost their law license at the same time and should not be practicing law. We were recently in prison, the both of us. So we know all the tips and tricks and everything that gets associated to prison life itself. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've done extensive research, when I was going through it. And unfortunately, the prison system does not offer a lot of information to you, and there's a lot of contradicting information. So what I can tell you is that the checklist that we've created, and we've gone through it, will not only help you, but help your family. Rest assured that you guys are going to be fully prepared for that day that you self-surrender to prison. So what does that checklist entail? Okay, so it entails things such as how to prepare financially for it, because I don't know if your attorney has talked to you about it, but there is going to be possibly obligations that the prison system is going to require of you from a financial standpoint on a quarterly basis. There's also going to be commissary stuff that you're going to want to know about and that your family is going to want to put money in your books. But how? What is the best source for that? What is the cheapest source for that? What about how to send books to you? Because there is only certain websites that the prison will offer and allow for books to come. Or what about how to set up your core links or true links? This is all information that we can actually provide to you to try to get you and your family set up so when you do self-surrender, you are fully prepared for that day. Now let's also add to the fact that we're both incarcerated during COVID. So the prison system's changed a lot during COVID, and there's a lot of interesting facts, such as quarantine. There's a lot of quarantine requirements for people entering prison and exiting prison. We also can give you tips and tricks as far as that goes as well. So that's why our 5-step mitigation process is so important, because it sets a tone for your sentencing. Now, after sentencing, that's where we can also come and play. But I want you guys to understand how the foundation has to be completely solid prior to sentencing, because we want to make sure that you get the best possible outcome. Now, once after sentencing, that's where we can also continue to step in. We can also continue to step in after incarceration, but we'll get to that in the next video. So our 5-step mitigation process will help you get the best possible outcome. So tune in next time, guys. We're going to be talking about how we can help post-prison.
Now, if any of this sounds like it can help you in your current situation, there's a link right down below. It's a direct scheduling link to Ryan and I. Just click it, pick a time, and we'll have a free consultation call. We'll be there to answer all your questions because we do really genuinely want to help you. So click the link down below or visit our website at www.Federalprison.consulting and you can sign up there. Thank you guys for joining us, and stay tuned for our next video.
And just remember, right now you have nothing to lose but everything to gain. And you always got to remember that the judge sees thousands of cases like this on a daily, monthly, yearly basis. We want you to stand out from it.